Welcome to the Not Superheroes Just Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be presents for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, my name is Sean Laurie, and I hope you guys are doing great today. Um, this weekend, at least for me, I can speak for me. It was pretty crazy in a good way, right? So this past week it was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the wonderful mothers out there, and blessings to everyone. From I know your wives or girlfriends or baby mamas, your mothers, right? I know it was their day celebrating, um, and so today I felt like would be a great time, y'all, for us to actually focus on something, right? Where I feel is key. So obviously, Mother's Day is about honoring our women, the women in our lives that obviously are either our mothers or gave birth to our beautiful kids, right? And I want to just speak though on like the importance of our role when it comes to that, right? So it's easy at times to, I guess, get caught up in, hey, it's the Woman's Day, and we're honoring the woman, right? But as man, I feel like we play a very unique part. Excuse me. I feel like we play a very unique and vital role when it comes to Mother's Day, especially when it comes to our children, right? Because that's a chance for us to really have an opportunity to teach our kids, right, about love, about devotion, about relationship. Um, and our kids are always watching us, right? Our kids are always paying attention, and I think as dads, sometimes we don't realize, we're instructing our kids 24/7, right? We're basically like a television show in a sense for them, right? And they're learning basic things from us, basic life lessons from us, and we show them everything, good or bad, right? We show them everything. Um, as a man, what a man should do when it comes to how a man relates to doing certain things for women, right? And it impacts our sons, our daughters equally, right? Our boys um, learn how to maybe handle women in a certain sense, right? And our girls are also watching how we react, right? Um, they're witnessing, okay, you know what, dad's doing this. Like we're subliminally training, in a sense, like our kids and how they should react, right? Girls find out, okay, this is how a man should maybe treat me, right? Because obviously at some point our daughters are going to have kids, right? And so they're going to pick up certain things. And I say this because there's times that or I should say I've witnessed personally, either through people I know or people I've helped, right, where they have certain issues, right? They have certain, like, what I've witnessed is they have certain, like, struggles, I should say. I've witnessed where they have certain struggles when it comes to the women in their life, and it dawned on me, why is that, right? Why is it that they struggle with certain things? And a lot of times it's because of what they saw, right? So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or experienced this, but like they saw their dad, right, always getting into it with their mom, or different baby mamas, things like that, and then they treat them a certain way, right? There's some um, men out there that look at women as almost like, hey, you produce kids, you clean, and that's it. Like at the end of the day, matter of fact, you know what? Mother's Day, you do whatever you're gonna do with the kids. I'm gonna kind of do my own thing, right? And again, to each his own. Like if that's how you want to operate, that's how you want to operate. But just understand what message does that send, right? So for me, I can speak for my Mother's Day that I just had. Obviously, my grandmas, which I love them. Shout out to them again. Happy Mother's Day. My mom, happy Mother's Day to her. I text them, I call them, just to let them know how much I love them. I miss them. Miss their day. And then obviously for my lady on Mother's Day, I made sure that I actually, got flowers. I got was it stuffed animals and the card. But I had my kids more so say it was from. Obviously, she knew it was from me, right? But I had my kids sign their names and things like that and give it to her. On top of, you know how kids are, man. They're doing stuff at school, so they already have stuff they are that they plan on giving to my wife and things like that, right? But um, I want to make sure that my kids understand, hey, this is a day that we really honor your mom and celebrate what she's done for us in this family. Now, I can hear it now where there's some guys like, hey, well, you know what about for Father's Day? And absolutely, like that's a whole nother thing. But absolutely, like as far as fathers, we definitely should be celebrated as well, and we definitely should, the same way I'm saying, right? We play a vital role as far as the importance of Mother's Day and how we view things and how we're showing our kids how we're viewing their mothers. It goes the same way for fathers, right? But for this instance, obviously, I want to just focus on our roles, right, for us when it comes to the mother of our kids. And make it short too, because I know unfortunately there is some women that will downplay the father or, you know, not celebrate Father's Day, things like that. Yes. But just because they're doing that doesn't mean it's right for us to do the same, right? So, with that being said, um, we got to just be very conscious of that. Like I said, what our kids are watching, because if we're downplaying women, if we're talking down on the women, if we're, oh, you know, that's her job, that's this, that's that, what are we showing, especially our boys, right? What are we showing our boys? Because then our boys grow up and they have a family, or they have, you know, kids or whatever the case is, and then they're looking at like, you know what, yeah, it's Mother's Day, but yeah, I'm gonna actually do my own thing. You're gonna spend Mother's Day pretty much by yourself, because at the end of the day, like, you can just handle the kids. It's fine. You should just be happy that you have the kids, right? I gave you kids. Like, you should be happy about that. But um, from my experience and from what I've learned, you know, the women are women, I should say, right? They want to be honored. They want to feel loved. They want to. Yes, they're obviously thankful to have the beautiful children, right? Um, that you guys have together, but they also want to know, like, hey, I am valued. Hey, I am. You know, they do appreciate the things I'm doing, right? And just making sure we're showing that as well. It could be something small. It doesn't have to be nothing huge, right? Or like I said, you can incorporate the kids so the kids understand that. But trust me, she's also watching and seeing like, oh, okay, like, yes, the kids are doing this, but I know, right? I know my husband, my baby daddy, whatever, has put effort into it. Now it does get tricky, right? When the you guys aren't under the same household. Absolutely, that is like, because I can hear someone now like, hey, yeah, you know what, Sean, that sounds good, but at the same time, we don't even live together. I have my own family, things like that. Absolutely, right? But even if it's a two separate household, right? What you know, and you have your own family. Are you also okay? Are you showing your kids with the household you are in, which maybe, you know, you have your own family, another family, I should say, right? Are you showing your kids when they're visiting, hey, this is how I'm honoring this woman over here that I have a family with, right? But at the same time, are you showing them, hey, you know, what did you guys do for your mom? Did you guys plan something out? Do you need help planning something out, right? Even if, you know, you and their mom isn't even on the best of terms, but just showing that, like, hey, you know what? Um, I'm going to make sure that, you know, you guys are, regardless how I feel about your mom, that you guys are honoring that, right? And most of the time, I should say, guys do a very good job with that, where it might be like, hey, you know what? I can't stand how, you know, the mother of my child is at times, but no matter what, I'm always gonna look out for her. No matter what, I'm still gonna try to hold her down, right? So a lot of times, as man, we do a good job doing that, right? We do a good job as far as like, no matter the BS or whatever like that, we still gonna hold it down. But yeah, so I just wanted to really, I guess, you know, talk about that, because I feel like it's something that because it's easy, right? Mother's Day, it's easy to just be like, hey, you know what? It's Mother's Day. It's about her. Hey, let the kids just do this, and I'm gonna kind of get out the way. But a lot of times, the women in our lives want to know that they're appreciated. Think about it like this too, right? Like, especially as we get older, right? As we get older, we might not, and depend on, like I said, for me, I'm in a whole other state, but we might not be able to honor our own mothers like we want to, right? We're not able to maybe hang out with them and do certain things like that, but they appreciate that, right? They appreciate, hey, man, okay, you know what? My son made an effort to call. My son made an effort to make send me a gift, right? And yes, even though it's a different dynamic, trust me, it's still the same when you have a child with when you have a child with this woman, right? Whoever the woman is, like they want the same thing. Not saying they want showered with gifts, things like that. Just let them know they're appreciated. Hey, you know what? Normally you cook dinner. I'm gonna cook dinner today. Don't worry about it. Chill out, right? Hey, you know what? Normally you deal with the kids. Hey, go get your nails done. Go, have a spa day, whatever the case is. Chill out, right? And I'm gonna make sure that the household is good, right? And anyways, at least from my experience, the kid, for me, like it's so funny, right? So my lady, she'll be like kind of stressed out at times with the kids and things like that. And for me, at least, maybe it's because I'm dad, right? But when I have the kids, I'm like, hey, no, this is how it's gonna be, and that's it. So there's times where I know she's overwhelmed, where I'm like, hey, you know what? Go chill out. I got the kids. Go relax, or whatever the case is. Same thing for Mother's Day, right? And for those that are with um, the women in their lives that they have family with or working it out or whatever the case is, right? It shouldn't be, just at least for me, in my belief, I should say. Just like I feel like in Valentine's Day, it shouldn't be one of those things where, oh, Valentine's Day is, hey, now that's when we're gonna celebrate how much I care about you, right? No, at least for me, like I don't feel that way. Same thing for Mother's Day. Like, you know what? Every day you should know that, hey, we appreciate you. You're honored. We're gonna honor you for being a wonderful mother, right? And things like that. And real quick too, because I know I know moms do this at times on Father's Day. They're like, hey, shout out to me, this and this and this. I know a lot of amazing single fathers that's holding it down, that's doing their best to try to play both sides at times, right? And it's not easy. So shout out to actually my brother too. Actually, both my brothers. So shout out to both of them as well. I ain't gonna tell their stories. That's their stories to be told by them. But they both are doing amazing jobs, playing both sides, and trying to make sure that their kids are never lacking anything. Because that's something that's never talked about really, right? It's always talked about as far as the single mothers, but not the single fathers, right? So shout out to them as well. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make sure that we're conscious of the attitude we have towards the mothers in our lives, right? Either like I said, the families we have, our own mothers, things like that. And again, it's not just about the perfume or making scrambled eggs or anything like that, but rather just being very subconscious about the seeds we're implanting in the brains of our kids, right? And making sure that they understand the importance of it, and because they're watching how we're reacting, right? They're like, look at it like this: would you want your daughters, right? Those that have daughters, would you want them when they do have kids? Do you want them to be feeling like, you know what, I'm just a baby factory, right? Or you know what, at the end of the day, this is just my life. It doesn't really matter, right? I'm pretty sure you don't, right? You want your daughters as you want your daughters to be like, damn, okay, I remember how dad used to treat mom. Even when mom and him were bumping heads, like I remember how he treated her a certain way, and made her know that, hey, you know what, you're honored, you're special, you're amazing. I'm thankful for you bringing these lives in the world, right? So that's how I kind of look at it. Like, I don't want my daughters to ever feel like this is just what I do. Okay, it is what it is. It's just another day, right? Which again, it is in a sense. I guess it is quote unquote another day when it's Mother's Day, because I did say with Valentine's Day, I don't want to contradict myself, but more so just understanding, hey, every day I'm honored, every day I feel important, right? And then making sure our sons understand too, hey, you know what? If you decide to have a child with this person, right, understand that you're choosing, this is the person you're choosing, right? And if choose wisely, obviously, but then make sure to you're also respecting and putting her in a certain position where she should be respected, right? You shouldn't be belittling her. You shouldn't be thinking nothing light of her or anything like that. So I just wanted to really share that with y'all because I think at times um, we don't realize the impact we have as fathers, right? We don't realize like what they're looking at because I, like I said, just this past weekend, um, I was doing different things with my lady and things like that, and my kids are just constantly watching, just looking like, oh, okay, this is what dad's doing, this is what dad's doing. So I understand, like, dang, okay, even though it's about her, they're watching how I'm reacting. They're watching how I am presenting myself. They're watching how I'm showing her affection, right? And so if I just was like, hey, you know what? All right, I'm out. This your day. Like this is a day for me to kind of chill out. To be honest, I'm gonna just go out and hang out with the homies, and you just deal with the kids by themselves, right? Like, and again, I'm sure there's many of us that's like, no, we would never do that, but I do know some that do that, right? And now if that's the dynamic of your relationship, that's the dynamic of your relationship. But just make sure, is that something that she really is okay with? Make sure that is that the message you want to send to your kids, right? Is that something you're okay with? So yeah, man, I just want to dive into that and share with y'all my thoughts on that just because it's something that I think we just don't realize because again, it's okay. Mother's Day, I get it. They want gifts or flowers, and it's not just about flowers because not every woman wants flowers. Not every woman wants candy, things like that. But more so, just the time, more so feeling appreciated. And if we're being honest, for us as fathers, right, we want to feel appreciated, right? Yes, it's just another day for Father's Day, all that stuff. Yes, but we also want to be appreciated. So let's make sure we're doing the same thing for our women, and even when they're not doing those things, let's make sure we're setting an example because as men, we set the foundation for our household. At least that's what I truly believe. We're the head of the household. So we have to set that example. And then from there, everything will trickle down, right? Um, but yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did have a good Mother's Day. Hey, Father's Day is around the corner, guys. We're next up, right? So, so get ready for that, man. Um, but yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Tell a friend. I appreciate you guys, man. Just what everything you guys are I've been saying through text messages, through DMs, through just all the encouraging messages, man. On social media, I've been seeing it as well. So I appreciate you guys so much. And remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.